First of all, I want to just talk about how proud of our kids I am, because you go and you lose a game that last week that's a big G5 opponent to us, and that game was a big deal to us, and then you don't respond the way you want to in that game. Then you got to travel halfway across the country again to come back. And today we showed what this place is about and who these kids are, and they played with all their heart, and they got up big early, and they knew it was going to be a four-quarter fight because that's a good football team, and they stuck with it and overcame hard things. And I couldn't be more proud of those guys. And I want to say thank you to our crowd who stayed in this game with us from the first play to the last play. And if you don't think that they affected those last two plays of the game, you're crazy, because you weren't on the field and you didn't feel the emotion that our kids felt when that place was rocking. And there wasn't a doubt in their mind they were about to get a stop. And that goes to, we feed off each other's energy. We had an unbelievable week of practice with our kickoff team, led by Miles Farmer. That's why he was the captain. And he goes down there and and has the energy right. We get a turnover down there, and then he makes the last tackle of the game. And it just talks about the kid's character, about how you just stay in the fight. You keep working. And it's about something bigger than yourself. And when your number's called, you make the play. And that's resiliency. And that's the word we've used around here all week. So I'm so proud of our players, the fight that they showed, the heart they showed. And I think it's something that our fans can be proud of. And we got a lot to clean up. No question about it. But it is unbelievable to get a win like that at home with that crowd. It would have been anything less than a win with the way that crowd showed up would have been really, really disappointing. So with that, I'll open it up.
David Ware, 24/7 Sports. When the season started and you had A.J. Swan at quarterback, after Charlotte, you mentioned, hey, we really tried to come up with a game plan to get him integrated quickly in that first quarter. What did you do to try to help J.J. Cole, adapt to that role today?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to address that right now, too, because here's what. A.J. had an MCL sprain, and he played through it last week against Boise. And the reason our decision was made to start J.J. was because I couldn't protect A.J. When you're hurt, you can't move the pocket at quarterback, and J.J. wasn't healthy to play yet. And so the next option is you play a freshman. And so you got to be really careful when you're playing a freshman, because you don't want their confidence to get down. So Noah's gained a lot of valuable experience, but you also have to make sure that the maturation process happens the right way. JJ was healthy this week, so it gave us the option to get AJ healthy, because we have a lot of confidence in JJ as well. That battle, I wasn't trying to key. It wasn't coach speak when it came down the wire and who was going to be the quarterback. And AJ performed better in training camp than JJ did. JJ is healthy, and he came out there and won a game. And it was and we were able to move the pocket and do some different things, because when you can't move the pocket, it puts so much stress on your offensive line. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, well, the offensive line's not playing great. The offensive line handled business today in the run game and pass protection, but it also helped that we were able to move the pocket and do some different things that a healthy player gives us that AJ wasn't able to provide. So I just want to make sure the record's straight on why we made the move we did.
First drive of the second half, you come out, you've got a 4th and 1 inside your 35.
Yeah.
Tough place to make that call, but you made it. Tell us why.
Because I believe in our offensive line. I believe in Rashad Dominion. If we blocked it a little bit better, it's a bigger play. And it's a play, if we don't get it, I'm sitting in front of you guys looking like an idiot. But my guys had my back, and I wrote a check that they cashed for me. But it goes back to in practice, it looked good all week. And I knew it was a no-brainer. Like, if you don't believe in your offensive line, you punt the ball in that situation. And I want to make sure these guys knew, because they take heat. We gave up 5 sacks last week, and it's a group that's tough. They're resilient, and they're better together as 5 than they are as 1. So I wanted to put it on their shoulders because I believe in them.
All day long, it felt like any time that Oregon State got in that deep red zone, Hankerson got the ball, and he tried to bounce outside. When you guys went into that 4th down call and they shifted out and did the Wildcat thing, was that part of the instruction, was make sure you contain those edges? It
was about, you got to set the edge of the defense, but that's the way defense football goes. We're sitting out there and we set the edge of the defense, and we have our eyes in the right place, and you make the plays. And that's most time when you have a busted play, especially in the run game, it's a bad fit, it's dirty eyes. That's what happens when you get knocked back inside and you have clean eyes. Then you're sitting there ready to make that play. What an awesome play, wasn't it? I got to relive it right now with you guys right now. Like, wow, what a game.
David Colson, welcome to the mystique of Kidd Brewer Stadium.
Amen.
You remember any games that you've been a part of as a coach that were quite as wild as this finish today?
Not as, I mean, like you guys, from my perspective now, you're the head coach. And you're responsible for offense, defense, special teams, recruiting, all of it. And you're sitting there at 2-2, and it's a pivotal game. And you need to win this game for a lot of reasons. Our fans deserve that. I didn't come here to be 500. Our fans and my boss didn't bring me here to be 500. They came here to fix things and to win football games. So you got to make some gutsy calls sometimes. But it was everything that you dream about as a head coach. It's about, like, the crowd, like, just very special moment for me to win that game. And the first one's always special, but that was in Charlotte, which we consider our second home. But to win that game at home like that in front of that crowd, like, that's a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Can you speak a little bit about JJ's game management
Yeah.
today? And in particular, he made a huge heads-up play on that fumble to dive on the ball right when there's an Oregon State guy ready to pounce on it.
I knew you guys would bring up the fumble, but rightfully so. No, here's what the message to our team was. It's not about them, it was about us. And we said if we tackle well and we just take care of the football and we don't turn it over, we'll win the football game. And there were too many, I think we cleaned it up a little bit on offense, but there were too many defensive penalties. And we just got to keep playing clean football. And I think that we respond the right way when we do. And so JJ, what he did a really good job of, the message was take care of the football, we'll win the game. Take care of the football, we'll win the game. Tackle on defense, we'll win the game. They made some big plays. We got the ball down. Hey, they got in the red zone twice. Put the ball down, make them play. Make them earn everything. Make them earn every inch. And JJ did the right thing. He took his shots when he needed to take his shots. Threw a couple touchdown passes, beautiful balls, great reads. And that's what you have to do as a quarterback. You got to take your shots when they're there. And a shot called is not a shot taken. So if it's not there, you check the ball down. You keep making great decisions. And we win. We end every series with a kick, and he did that. Hold on, big guy. You'll be here in just a minute.
One more question.
Stud.
One more question for you. With the Sean Clark memorial today and everything,
Yeah.
what did that do as far as anything in game preparation or in just, anything extra that happened today?
It wasn't anything extra, but here's what everyone has to understand. Like, you lose someone that means that much as a former player to this place, and we've honored him in every step of the way. And our administration, starting with my boss Doug, has been. We wanted to give their family space, and we wanted to be locked with them and the decisions we made, because it's not just about their family and honoring them too, but like there's a lot of kids in this locker room that were hurting. He was our coach. He recruited a lot of them. And I stood up here and made those guys, like, raise your hand if Coach Clark recruited you. And, it's still half the team. We have 54 new players, but there's still so many of them. So then you're in a situation, there's no handbook and manual, like, how do you handle this the right way? But as an organization, starting with my boss, like, we want to handle this with class. And prioritize their family and pay back them for everything they've done for this university, because Coach Clark affected a lot of people in this community, in this team. So it's like, for me, is he treated me well, but he treated our players well. And I wanted to do whatever I can to honor that, because it's about how you treat these kids. And it's really hard. And you think about an 18 to 22-year-old that has to go through that, like, that's really, really hard. And we have a ton of respect for them. It was hard on that family. It was just a hard 2 weeks and 10 days, and that wound's not closed for anyone. And it will continue to, time cures all wounds, but it's going to take time.
Chris Peterson, WXII TV. Coach, it feels like turnovers have plagued this team throughout the season. None today. Was there anything special done throughout the week in practice, or an emphasis on just taking care of the football?
No, we do. Since the Lindenwood game, we fumbled the ball too much. We all know that. We have ball security circuits. We hired officials to come in and on Tuesdays and Wednesdays to throw flags when there's penalties. We coach all of that. It takes time sometimes, and no one wants to hear that. But you guys have heard me say this a million times. You got to build as you win. You got to, as we're building, we got to keep winning games. And look, it's not going to happen overnight, but it happened today. And today we were 1-0 that way. The mission was accomplished this week. So now confidence is only born from demonstrated ability. So now the kids, we can really just say, hey guys, this is why it's important. Because you could fumble a ball and give up a safety and recover in the end zone, but if you get to kick it and let our defense go back out there and just take care of the football and stop hurting yourself with penalties, you're going to give yourself a chance to win because we have good players. We have good players, and that's what as you build, you have to teach people what it takes to win and what winning looks like, and we're finding it out, and we're doing a better job. Mission accomplished this week. Next week we'll offer a different set of challenges.
When AJ is ready to come back, is the job his? Is it JJ's? How are you going to determine who's QB1 here?
Smart, tough, competitive is something we talk about all the time, and you guys can see that there's a different starting lineup. There's going to be one or two changes every week, and whoever has the best week of practice is going to play. I'm not going to get into that right now. Let's not forget now, AJ Swan was the Sun Belt Player of the Week and was like the third leading passer in the country for about 3 weeks. And now JJ just came and won a huge, big-time home game and took care of the ball. Hopefully we get to the point where you got two healthy quarterbacks, and they're both playing at a high level. And JJ got it done today, and we'll worry about that. I want these kids to celebrate. We'll watch the tape. We'll grade the tape. We'll do all those things. But I don't want to talk about depth chart right now. But I respect the question, understand the question.
Any other questions in the back?
Dylan Shepard, App Weekly News and App TV. I saw you at the end of the game celebrating with a bunch of the recruits on the sideline.
That wasn't recruits. That was former players. That
Former
was
players,
K-Rob and the boys.
Excuse me, my apologies. I saw you celebrating with a lot of the former players on the sideline, jumping up and down, giving them high fives and whatnot at the end of the game. How meaningful was that to be able to celebrate with all those guys who've been through the program, who were here with Clark, who were here with on the sideline with you guys?
You talk about cool moments. Like I'm sitting there and there's 8 or 9 former players and they're rushing me and I'm excited and we're celebrating and we've developed great relationships with those guys, and I wanted to make sure they always knew they had a home here. The coach might have changed, but the brand didn't change and the place didn't change, and we preach around here, you got to be from somewhere, and our doors will always be open for those guys. They created this place. They're the ones getting the new stadium renovations built. They're the ones who are getting the success that they had, the way they did it. They're getting the new indoor built. That's the only way, the best way we can honor them is to know they're always welcome at home, and they always will be. And I have such a great appreciation for those guys just for the way they've embraced me. And talk about fast starts. Talk about down the sideline before the game, K-Rob and the boys were over there, just a different energy. And our guys need to see that, because our guys need to see what it looks like to have energy and play with intensity and care about this place. Where Joey was here. He comes back to the game because he cares about this place. This place means a lot to a lot of people, and it's an honor and privilege to be the head coach here. I don't take it for granted ever, but then moments like today just remind me of what a blessing this is.
Chris Aguilar from the Appalachian. First of all, congratulations on that hard-fought win. My question would be, what message did you give your defense in the final minute of the game that led to that powerful tackle and an interception by Zaire Gamble?
I would say this. What else would you want if you're a defensive player? You don't want the offense to go down, win a 2-minute drill. You don't want Dom to hit a field goal. Stop it on your terms. Stop it right now. Do your job. And have a competitive excellence that you want it to be you. We want it to be us as a defense. Put us out there, coach. At that, they were asking me about the 10-second runoff. And everyone's like, hey, well, what if they score? What if they score? We'll want those extra 10 seconds. And I said, no, I want the 10 seconds off because our defense can win the game right here. And that was my message to defense. I'm taking the 10-second delay because I'm going to end the game with you guys out there, and we're going to win the game because you stop them. No, we're not putting it up back on the offense or go down and kick a field goal. And I think Don would have made a field goal. I think the offense would have drove down and scored. But I knew our defense would stop them because I have an unbelievable faith in those guys. And they were ready. You saw the look in their eyes. They responded the whole game the right way. It was ugly. It was sloppy at times. But when they got in the red area, they stopped them. When you can look someone in the eye, you know. As a coach, you know. You know.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.